Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coco. Something new about me is that today, for the first time, I put on fake lashes underneath my real lashes. It was so weird and it took me like 10 minutes, but I think they look more realistic than if I rest them on top, so underneath. Like Nono told me to do that, so I did. And yeah, and also I did my hair like this because I think I saw it in a Snapchat video, like one of the stories, and it's like, oh, how to do this, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird. So today I'm going to talk about the top 10 classes at YIS. I have my notes here, I'll show you guys. Here are my notes. So I went to YIS from 6th grade to 12th grade, and I graduated with honors. And YIS is, it's a pretty small, privately owned international school. I always thought like, oh, it was like normal size, you know, like small would be like having like 6 people in a class. That's kind of how YIS started, but then it slowly is expanding now. And I didn't consider it small until I came here, and my friends are like, oh, my graduating class had like 300 people. I'm like, whoa, like, that's a lot. So it's a really small school, and I think I really thrived in that small circle. And when I first went in, it was very, very small. As I went into the next grade, it slowly got bigger, and I had time to adjust to that growth. So that was really good for me. Keep in mind that I am an art student. All of the 10 classes I have here are very biased and personal to me, and how the different teachers that were teaching the class at that time affected me. So you can go take the same class, it might be different because the teacher is not the same. So this video is for people that are thinking about going to YIS. If you're a parent and you have a child that you're thinking about moving to YIS, this would be good for you. Or if you're a student and you're like, hey, maybe I want to go to YIS, like what classes are there, like how's the environment like? Or if you are like a middle school student and you're like, like all my classes have been decided for me, like I'm going to high school, what classes should I take? This is like the perfect video for you to watch, because I loved my time at YIS. I would choose it over and over and over and over and over and over again. So here are my thoughts on the top 10 classes that are available at YIS. These are in chronological order, not reverse. The first class I am recommending is the advisory class. I got to take that in 6th grade. I think all 6th graders get it. The advisory teacher I had was Mrs. Vaughn, and it's kind of like this like group therapy / counseling session where we get to like talk about issues that are like important to like 6th graders. And that was really good because I got to be like vulnerable with my classmates, and then especially since I was a new student, that was a really good class to have because I saw my classmates as people with actual issues. If you're like someone in like YIS and you're like, what classes should I cut? Like, don't cut advisory because it's so good. My second class that I think is very, very awesome is the IT or yearbook. I group them together because it's like technology, and some people might be like, oh, like I'm not a tech person, like goodbye. But like I'm not a tech person, like I fumble with it so much, and I hate dealing with things because it's like, I don't know how it works, you know? So the teachers I had were Mr. Bradley, Mr. Dyer, and Sunny. I learned about, like, in yearbook, I learned about how to do layouts, and I learned to work with deadlines, and with Mr. Dyer, I learned how to code, and that was really, really cool. Mr. Bradley also taught us how to code, like, binary and how to, like, do, like, the door closing thing. So that was really awesome, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? The whole class got competitive, and we started writing out the numbers from, like, 1 to, like, whatever, like, thousands in binary, and it was, like, 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 0. It was amazing. And then Mr. Sunny, he filled in for Mr. Bradley at the beginning of the year, and then we learned about like how to do Photoshop. That's cool, because I mean, like, I still don't know how to do it, but at least I know like, oh, I've done it before, like it's not as scary. This is gonna be a long video, and I'm sorry. So the third class that is one of my top 10 favorites is MUN. It stands for Model United Nations. And my first encounter with it was with Miss L. She started to introduce that to us in 8th grade. She moved and she was like, this is MUN, and we're like, what is MUN? She's like, it's this whole sentence, long sentence. And I was so like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. This is all like really like sophisticated language, and I don't know if I can deal with it. But later I grew to love it so much, so much, so much. Miss L and Mr. Brink are my teachers for that. I love MUN because not only do you get to travel, you have to like practice your social skills, and you get to meet new people as you travel, and you learn to like skirt laws, and you learn to like read, and you learn to put out work that you're proud of, and you learn to have to like think on the spot, and then wait, sorry.
And
That is so cool. I was like, oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
She's
What
such a
were
cool
you
person.
on?
What's your name?
Maya.
Maya.
Yeah,
Like,
what's your name again?
Like, how do you spell it?
M-A-Y-A.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so cute. So I just met Maya. She's really cool. Oh my gosh. I love school, and I love learning, and I love meeting new people. So yeah, MUN, and you learn to like, if you're like on the spot and people are like giving you like a POI, you're like, I know my stuff. Okay, I can't say that. You're like, yeah, I know my stuff. Like, you think you can hurt me? No, blah blah blah. And then there are some like rude people that will give you like stupid POIs or like POCs, and you're like, and then you can like be sassy with them. At least that's what I do. And like, I don't know, I just love MUN and everything that goes with it. And you get to like dress up nice, and then you get to be like, ha, ha, ha. It's awesome. I can't recommend it enough, and it has shaped me like so much. Like, I think I need to make it like a whole separate video about why everyone should take MUN. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so my fourth top 10 class at YIS is AP Bio. My teacher was Mr. Horton, and he's like such a cool guy. I've always like thought like, oh my gosh, how does this work? How does that work like in the living world? And then I learned how to do that, and it was my first AP, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so challenging. I have to like learn so much stuff, and I still think about the things that I learn every week, like with him. I was like, oh my gosh, like the mitochondria, blah, 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 it's the powerhouse of the cell, blah, blah, blah. Probably not that example, but other more examples. And also, one thing I love about Bio is how much he's taught that class so many times, and he's like such a great teacher, and he really like has everything organized, and it taught me how to study for a test. I took it so seriously. Oh my gosh, I think it's the AP class that I took the most seriously in all of my life. And then the next is Apes. So Apes stands for AP Environmental Science. Oh, by the way, AP I think is like, I don't know. It's like an American system, and it's like college level, but you take it in 1 year. I don't know. Anyways, advanced placement. So if you take AP classes, you get to test for it, and depending on the college you get into, sometimes they will give you college credit if you get a 3, 4, or 5. It depends on the college and everything. So Apes, yeah, my AP Environmental Science teacher was Mr. Carlson, and I loved the class so much. I loved it so much. He really cares about the environment, and that shows through because he's like preaching what he teaches, and he tries to. He's just awesome, and my favorite thing about the class is all the documentaries we watched, because it really changed my life. I was like, I know I say that about all these, but it's true. And so I'm going to film school now, and I want to make like social justice films, and one of my favorite memories of that class is when we went on to a field trip, and we learned how like trash and how things are recycled in Myanmar, in Yangon specifically, and I filmed so much footage with that, and I'm gonna make a video about that one day, so look for that. Like, okay, so the thing is like, okay, I'm in college and I'm like taking footages of everything, and I've always done that, even in high school. So I have all these footages, and I'm gonna edit them and put them up one day, so one day you'll be like, that Coco is not like the Coco I'm seeing right now. Like, yeah, it's not, because I filmed it probably in like junior year, which is when I took Apes. These are not like ranked in any way, it's just like chronological, okay? So the sixth class I think is in one of the top 10 is AP Psychology. My teacher was Miss Xu, and she's so detailed, strong, meticulous, and she knows her content so well. She's strict, and at first I was a little like intimidated by her just because how strict she is, but then I love it so much because she's Taiwanese, so I love to like see her, like who is one of like the most similar person to me, like face. I don't know what I'm saying, but she was really strict, and she set an example of what like a strong female looks like without being like mean.
Sorry.
No, don't be, Maya.
Not mean to interrupt.
No, totally. Oh my gosh, she's so cute, Maya. AP Psych, yeah. So also learning about the different ways people are wired and the different ways people think, and how different people can be, like psychology-wise. I love that class so much, and I can't recommend it enough. For the seventh class is Music 101. Mrs. Vaughn is my teacher, and also like, I don't say this about everyone, but all of these teachers I love so much. Like, I think that the content that you're learning is not as important as the teacher that is teaching you the content, because you need to relate, and you need to relate with the teacher, and you need to like the teacher. Then you'll be like, oh my gosh, like teach me more. And also your personalities need to match. So Mrs. Vaughn, she taught us how to like perform and how to read music and how to write a song. And she's like just the best person. She's honestly such a best person, such a great person. And I need to write an email back to her. I've just been like not doing it. And she really teaches from a place of love, and it's great. And I always feel so like sheltered in like the best way possible, and I love that she taught us how to read music in that class and how to write a song, because right now I'm in music prep, and if she hadn't done that in music 101, I would be so behind and I would be like help me, I'd be like that. But now I'm like staying afloat. I've had Mrs. Vaughn for so many years. I've had her in like other music classes, and I've also had her in girls choir, and it's just really awesome. Like she is also another example of a strong woman that I look up to, and I'm like that. So the 8th class is AP Art. Mr. Vasile is my teacher. He is such a great person. He is very kind, but not a pushover at all. When you walk into the class, you always know that you're welcome there, and even though he might be stressed or stuff, he lets you know that you're important to him, and that's like such a great class to have had senior year. And I'm so glad that like we caught each other, you know, like he came in on the last year that I was there, and it's so awesome. And he's very well established, and he's like one of those like dreamers that not only dream, like if he's like, oh, I want to do this, like he will make it happen. And that was so like awesome for me. He knows your worth. Like he's one of those teachers, like all of these teachers are amazing, but he's one of those like he looks at you and he knows what you're capable of, and he doesn't let you get away with doing anything less than that. And that was really awesome. And he goes 100% for all his students, especially for me. Once me and a friend, we were like not getting stuff done, and he was like, okay, let's go to this amusement park, let's do this. And he spent a whole day going out to this abandoned amusement park. It was hot and it was dusty, and he gave up that whole day to work with us for our portfolio. That was really amazing. And all of these teachers are amazing like that. And also like if you're a teacher that's watching this and your class didn't make the list, it's not that like I didn't love it, it's just that these are the top 10 classes that affected me. And I'm sure I loved your class, and I'm sure that, like, of course, like, you're a great teacher. The 9th class is Advanced Drama. Miss K taught that, and I love that class because I took it in my senior year, and at the beginning we would like relax and we would either meditate or do some yoga. And I love that class because she teaches us how to act, and we took on stage roles like costume designing and stuff. So it's not just like on-screen work, even though we're never really on screen. It's not just like stage work, we'll also do some behind the scenes. We also, sorry, I'm burping so much. We also stretched and we like rehearsed and we performed, and it was the best class for me to take because I was so anxious. I was like, and I would go in and then we would relax, and she would like ask us like, so how was your day? And I was like, like sometimes you just need to feel like someone listens to you and someone cares about you, and she really did that. And college and career is my last class on this list. Miss Wendy is my teacher. She's also the counselor. We would have a vocabulary every day. That really helped me a lot because like I go around campus, I'm like, what the f is a registrar? And then that was one of the vocabs that we learned in her class. I'm like, ah! And one thing that she does really well is she brings in people from like the embassy and from other places, and they give us tips on like how to apply for visa and stuff. And I've already done it once when I went to my summer school in 2015, so I learned all that like through like trial and error. But it's nice to like have that refresh of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna need to do. So even though I benefited from that, I'm sure other people that have never like applied for a visa really learned from that. So those are my top 10 classes that I think everyone should take at YIS. And there are other classes that of course I'm like, you're great, but it didn't make the list because like I don't know, I feel bad. I feel like I want to like put everything in, and I feel bad if like a teacher is watching this and I'm like, yeah. But these are my top 10. There are other classes that are great. It really depends on the teacher. I feel bad, oh my gosh. No, I shouldn't. Like, okay, like I hate making people feel left out. No, but okay, anyways, that was me. I am 18 years old today. It's February 5, 2017 right now. And this is my channel. My name is Coco. Please like and subscribe. And I'm sorry this video is so long, but I really just like, I love talking about learning and I love talking about knowledge, and yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Comment something down below like, I like your braid, because I like put a lot of effort into that. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye!